I start each of my lectures on business ethics with a question to my listeners. What does business ethics mean to you? Usually, civil servants answering this question to talk about respect for seniors, the ability to write business letters, the professionalism in communication. For them, business ethics is a matter of honor. Business representatives seek compliance with the norms of corporate code, the culture of relations with stakeholders, the provision of quality service, or the supply of quality goods in business ethics. But for managers and business owners, violations of business ethics mean reputational risks and loss of profits. Hi, my name is Olga Nakonechna. I am founder and director of the Business Ethics and Etiquette School, and also I am happy owner of ICFM diploma. As within our webinar, I am going to talk about business ethics as a component of the professional success. Let's look at history. The beginning of the 20th century, 100 years ago, more than 100. Andrei Sheptytsky, the Metropolitan Archbishop of Ukrainian Greek Catholic Church, a philanthropist while building first centers of business circles in the western Ukrainian lands, formulated his own provisions of business ethics. It spoke about the importance of observing agreements with clients and suppliers, of fulfilling obligations of workers and their families regarding wages and welfare. Sheptytsky emphasized that continuous education of all employees, the importance of their professional growth, and their acquisition of new competencies. According to him, this approach ensures sustainable business development. The beginning of the 21st century. Just imagine an American billionaire investor Warren Buffett's right-hand man, Charlie Munger. It was about 20 years ago. It convinced that business ethics is trust that is capitalized. In modern society, there is an option that compliance with the rules of ethics is impossible in the strict business world. However, Mr. Munger denied this and was quite clear about ethics. He said, "You have to have an internal compass. There are things you won't do, even if it's perfectly legal. That is how we try to operate. People keep signing contracts with us because they trust us." September 2021. Adrian Slivotsky, an American business consultant of Ukrainian origin and the author of several books on economic theory and management, considered compliance with the norms of business ethics to be one of the 12 commandments of success. So, if you see these figures lived at different times during the century, and we are hardly familiar with each other, but their experience proves that business ethics is one of the foundations on which the image of company is built, the business reputation of both managers and the entire company in general. Standards of ethical behavior are often determined by means of enforcement of the law, not by its actual existence. At the same time, ethical behavior has no upper limit, and attention to ethics increases with the increase in the level of economic well-being. Because of this, not only the development of ethical standards and the consideration of ethical issues in the company's development strategies, but also the rejection of questionable market when ethical problems arise become relevant. So let's look at the corporate governance tool, the Code of Corporate Ethics, or maybe the Code of Business Conduct. I'm sure you have one, but a very important question: how often do you return to him to solve ethical issues that are an obstacle, for example, to your professional or career development? Or another question, is business ethics really the key to the success of both an individual employee and the company as a whole? For successful development of an institution, it is important that absolutely every member of the company or institution, from the highest position to the lowest, shares common values, mission, maybe understands the strategy and the goal of the company's development. Maybe you say, what we have to do if our company is small? If the company is small, for example, from 3 to 5 people, then it's quite simple to agree among themselves to discuss certain risks, plans, and strategies. But when the number of employees is larger, it becomes more difficult to build common values because there is a need to build a more complex hierarchy, which leads to complicated communication with the company. To achieve significant results, each person should feel involved in a common cause. The effective mechanism that allows to unite all team members is a code of corporate ethics. Usually, it contains such sections as mission of company, strategic goals, rules of corporate behavior. It can be, for example, dress code, contact rules, or communication rules. Next point, the order of external communication means with stakeholders, all those who are interested in cooperation with your company, legal and natural person, public association, etc. Also, it should be corporate values and conflict prevention mechanism. The code of corporate ethics can be called, as you see, can be called a kind of element of company strategic management. After all, without observing the norms and rules specified in it, it is impossible to achieve the set strategic goals. Today, the code of corporate ethics is not just a fashionable tool, but also an effective mechanism to preventing conflicts and minimizing reputational risks. If we turn to analytics, we will see that according to the calculations of analytical agencies, the application of provisions of code of business ethics at the company allows to reduce the risks associated with corruption. Its amount could be by 40% or maybe more. Also retain up to 40% of talented employees and increase the number of new customers by 41%. Good result. Why not? So, what gives a company the benefits of provision on business ethics or code of corporate ethics? First, corporate ethics unites the team. We talked about it. Next point, the values and traditions of the company become the basis of mutual respect with the team. Another point, a positive company's image is formed. Also, investment, attractiveness, and trust on the part of clients increases. New employees adapt to the team faster. Conflicts and corporate disputes are resolved more faster. True, with the least financial losers. For me, very important point, increased competitiveness. And if we will talk about employees, compliance with the provisions of code is also an opportunity to receive an additional bonus due to achievement of planned indicators and strategic goals. So, if you see the practice of organization in any country shows that no business is able to exist for a long time if it is built on violations of code of ethical behavior. It does not respect existing norms and values. At the same time, the owner of the company may be well aware of the theory of business ethics, but if it has not become his inner self, his professional success is no chance to existence. Okay, maybe you would like to ask me what we have to do to provide the best ethical codes for our company. So now I would like to give you 5 do's of ethical code. First one, if you already have a code of corporate ethics, remember that it is a living tool and is subject of mandatory periodic review. Any external or internal changes in the organization's development strategy, legislation, rules of regulations must be reflected in your code of ethics. Number 2, the code must be written in plain language and be understandable to all who read it. For me, for you, for everyone, it is very, very important point. Number 3, when drafting or revising the code, it is necessary to involve employees of all departments. Such involvement contributes to the understanding of corporate values and the establishment of internal ethical and harmonious environment in your company. Number 4, the code should cover such issues as compliance with information confidentiality, regulation of conflicts of interest, fight against discrimination, compliance with professional ethics and etiquette during internal and external communication, compliance with security, including information security, and respect for intellectual property. Number 5, the code should be uniform for all employees. It is not necessary to develop separate codes for top management or, for example, for middle-level employees and maybe special for service personnel. You have to have just one code for full your company. Also, I would like to suggest from my own practice, it is worth creating the position of an independent expert on ethical behavior who will monitor violations of the code and be an independent authority in making ethical decisions regarding violators. To create a harmonious and ethical environment in your organization, it is necessary to regularly train personnel in the field of business ethics and communication. Do you remember? We start with our history. We talked about Mr. Sheptitsky. He emphasized the continuous education of all employees, the importance of their professional growth, and the acquisition of new competencies. According to him, this approach ensures sustainable business development. Remember about it. So, let's summarize. If every employee of the company adheres to the code of ethics, then ultimately it will bring business prosperity and profit. And everyone will be able to convince themselves that business ethics is a component of the formula of professional success. In conclusion, our webinar, I would like to quote Adrian Slivotsky. You say ethics. Why ethics? Ethics cost money. Ethics slows down the fight of my career. Friends, beware of superfictional thinking. I will not explain, but will ask, Why are the best companies in the world the most ethical? Ethic is not an obstacle, but an engine of development and mysterious, incomprehensible source of unlimited energy. Be successful. Be ethical. Thank you. See you.